Hey guys, welcome back in. Today we are talking about systems. Systems produce what they produce, nothing more, nothing less, right?
And systems are boring. Let's be real. Like, systems are boring, but I feel like I've kind of gotten to a point in my life where, like, boring is good. Like, boring. I do not want chaotic. I do not want chaos. Like, I'm cool with boring.
You know what else is boring? Success.
Yeah.
Replicable success. And it's hard to get there without systems.
I agree. I mean, what James Cleary, Atomic Habits, right?
Yeah,
James Clear, we rarely rise to our ambitions, but we always fall to our systems.
Exactly. We rarely rise to the level of our ambitions, but we will fall to the level of our training or our systems. Mm-hmm. And it's so true. So, like, you know, what are some telltale signs that I'm an entrepreneur out here slugging it out in the real estate space? What are some telltale signs that I need systems?
We need some more systems. Well, I think for first, like, if you've ever asked yourself, like, where the hell is my next deal coming from?
Yeah.
Where's our next title order coming from?
Right.
That would probably entail that we have a systems issue.
I mean, you should have a clue, right? Like,
you should probably know where your next deal is coming from. I would say that. I would think too.
What about, like, I'm rich, I'm poor. I'm rich, I'm poor. Like, unsteady income. Big month, horrible month. Big month.
I mean, we talk about that all the time, right? You know, some people will have a bonkers $60,000 month and then they go with like zero for a couple and they're like, oh shit. I would say that's a systems issue.
Well, it's hard, right? Because you're opening, selling, and then closing. So the undulations of income is really hard. That's what makes sales such a tough gig.
Yeah, so I'd say, and I would also say time, right? If you've ever been like, why am I running comps at midnight, or why am I doing this at midnight, and when I should probably be sleeping?
I remember doing follow-up emails like at 11:30 p.m. before I had you guys, you know, and before I had help, and before I had systems, and I was working around. If I was awake, I was working for real, and that's just no way. It's not scalable.
It's not scalable, and it's not a great way to live. Like, we're doing this because we want to have systems in place so that we can have the time to be with our family, to be with our friends, go on the vacations that we want, and know that we have systems that are going to be still working. Because when you're not there, the systems aren't working. And that leads me into probably the next thing. If you've ever said, like, I'm the only one who can do this.
Oh, yeah.
And don't tell me that you're a perfectionist. Don't tell me it has to be you. That's an excuse. That's BS.
Well, and there's a lot of ego there, too. So there's a lot of surrender and delegating. That's what nobody tells you. You have to get off the throne and realize it doesn't have to be done by you. It just has to be done by somebody.
I would think too, like, that would be kind of like you're not documenting your stuff, right? If you're the only one that can do it, you should be able to have an assistant who can do some things, or hire somebody on Fiverr to help with some things, or other systems in place where it doesn't have to be you.
I keep thinking about, I think Brian Buffini said, he's like, if you go away from your business for 30 days and you come back and it's running perfectly, you have a business. If you come back after 30 days of being gone from your business and you have nothing going on, you don't have a business, you have a job.
Ooh. Yeah.
Right? And then the last one is, if the market shifts or the landscape shifts and you're paralyzed and don't know how to move forward, you don't have systems.
No, if you blame it on the market, like, oh, the rates or something.
Yeah.
You probably, I know for us, it's, we didn't get this agent, or we didn't do this. It's probably because our system lacked there. And the cool thing about systems is we can always change them. You can always get better at them. You can always tweak them. Pivot when things aren't working. You can change it. And it allows you to know what's working and what's not working when you have your system.
How do you know what to change if you don't record and measure what you're doing, right? And look, we get freaked out. We've been through COVID. We've been through tons of ups and downs in the market together. And when we don't know what to do, we know where to go.
Yeah.
Back to our systems, back to the drawing board. What's working? What's more effective? Well, more engagement, more nurturing of clients,
creating more opportunity.
We got to go out there and tell the story. Nobody's going to tell our story for us, right? So how do we do that? What's the best way of doing it in this particular market, in this particular moment in time? And so, yeah, systems are the place you go when you don't know what to do. You go back to your systems and analyze what's working.
Yeah, which, like we said, it's boring. It's not fun. But that is consistent. Like you said, that's where the success comes from, is the consistent outreach, the consistent marketing through your systems.
Dude, and I love what Tom Ferry says. It's like, it takes the brain out of it. You don't have to think. Because if I have to think, the whole business that we run is dependent on me. Me remembering this, and there's still a lot of that. There's always going to be in sales. But the more systems you implement, the less we have to remember things.
Well, and I think it's way better. I can't remember exactly what he says, but he talks about having a systems over having memory.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Sometimes our memory is not super great. Sometimes I'm like, what happened yesterday? What did I wear yesterday? I wouldn't know if they were.
Who am I? Where did I park my car?
Yeah. Where's my car? What's going on? And so imagine trying to run an entire business off of memory. And when somebody says, well, I've been doing this 20 years, I know all my past clients, I go, well, really, let's look at that and let's see who of your past clients have moved.
Yeah.
And done that.
He says a bad system will outperform a great human.
A great
right?
human. A bad
human
system
memory.
will outperform a great human.
You know, and we are in the process of coming up with standard operating procedures all the time because things are changing all the time. And so we rewrite systems. We have those we talk about, those documented, those that aren't. So we're very much in the middle of this with you. Okay, we don't have all this shit together, but we're striving towards that goal, you know?
And our systems are pretty decent, but like you said, we're always changing and we're always trying to tweak them. Like, I know for a fact, how many times have we looked at each other and been like, man, we need to just sit down and get the CRM really dialed in. And then life happens. Business is business. It's busy and things go on. And then 2 weeks later go by and we're like, we still haven't done that thing that we need to get done, that we know we need to do, and it's there, but we'll get to it. But
coaching people has helped.
Yes, but we do have at least the base level of systems for outreach, for conversations, for opportunities.
So we got from Tom's fabulous podcast, the first 5 out of 15 systems that he says are absolutely necessary in sales, whether you're selling boats, yachts, houses, loans, titles, escrows, sales position. What was the first one?
I know we've talked about this ad nauseum, talked about this so many times, but this is why it's so important. Time management.
Oh yeah, he did start number one. This is the numero uno that Tom started with.
Time management. And that goes for any of us. I mean, I know there's been days I've looked and been like, where the hell did today go? Where has the past week gone? Like, seriously. What has happened? Every
Friday.
Every Monday and Friday. That's all we know is Mondays and Fridays. But having a system, because if you don't tell your time where to go, your time is going to tell you where you're going. Your day is going to
You're going to wonder where it went.
You're going to wonder where it went. Your day is going to fly by, and you're not going to actually have any productiveness out of your day. And we have our day pretty well time blocked. It could be better. But you got to start with what you're doing. What are your actions, your activities? What's your morning routine? Put that on your calendar.
Yeah, where's date night? Where's workouts? Where's grind it out? Where's happy hours? Where's prospecting? All of that has to live and have a place where it lives in your calendar before it will ever happen consistently.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, time blocking was new to me when I got into sales. And now it's made my life, it just makes it so easy.
It takes the brain out of it.
It takes my brain out. I know what I'm doing. I know when my appointments are. And Tom talks about schedule it out in a year. Schedule out your vacations a year. Know when you're going on your vacations. Yeah. Know when you're doing your open houses. Schedule that out a year in advance. We have a big ass year calendar in our and I think all we have on it right now is like birthdays. I just put birthdays on there. Yeah. But we've gotten better. I for sure have gotten better at scheduling out my vacations. I remember when I first started with Ryan, it was like a week before, oh, I forgot, I'm actually leaving. And he would be like, can we like work on this a little bit? Like, can we?
I'm a very patient man.
Like, can we like maybe work on this? And now I was so proud of myself. I think working it together after 6 years, this year I actually we had
all 2025
my vacations all planned out, and I knew I have weddings planned, I have the bachelorette. I was like, it's all on the calendar, it's all planned out, it's done.
Thank you, Jesus.
But it takes that franticness out of like, oh shit, I forgot, or oh shit, I have to do this. It takes that out of it because it's planned.
I mean, if you're looking for a reason why you should manage your time and block your time, is you will get more out of your time, and that is a tremendous benefit because when you're 30 minutes deep doing one thing, a deep dive, just that thing, no notifications, no talking to anybody, I'm in the hole, I'm just doing this until it's done, there's power in that. You're going to get way more productivity out of that time. So now create blocks where your time looks like that, and then take some time off, and then get back into and then take, you know what I mean? Yeah. So by telling your time where to go, you don't wonder where it went, you know?
And I think I love this one. I know this is probably Ryan's favorite. Number 2. This was actually out of Tom's podcast. Number 2 that he talks about is having a system for your stress management.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Ryan? Like,
So
what
do
is
you have a system for your manage your mindset and emotions? That just assumes the fact that sales is an emotional thing, that life is an emotional thing, right? And as our mindset goes, it creates the lens we see the world through. Okay,
Right.
so if I'm in a great mood, I'm feeling good, everything's great, I just closed a deal. What lens am I looking through? Everything's awesome. So what do I see? Awesomeness, right? But if I'm in the hole and I'm like, everything's shit, nobody loves me, everybody's coming for me, I'm a victim.
market sucks? All that.
Market sucks. Then it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? What you bring to the world will reflect back to you.
Oh, for
because
sure.
you're looking through a lens. You have nothing else you can see. That's what you're seeing the whole world through, right? So if you're not making time to move your body, move your mind, move your spirit, put some continual learning in there, talk to people, and have reality testing, because things go on in our head and we don't know the difference. Our subconscious between real and real out here is real in our head. So do reality testing, bounce some ideas off some people. Say, man, you're kind of tripping, bro. Like, you're doing really good, and you may not even be aware of it.
What would you say your like top 2 for you to manage your stresses? Like when you have a moment and you're like, F this, you feel your anxiety, you feel the heart tighten up. What's like, give me your top 2.
I just drop everything and go for a run. It's really hard to be pissed or scared or fearful or jealous when you're sucking wind running on the pavement or on a cardio machine, or lifting heavy weights is your go-to.
Well, my go-to is like if we're in a file or something's stressing out, I like put the phone down. I go on a walk. I get outside for at least 5 minutes. I'm like, I need to get outside. Morning, yes, I'm lifting weights. I'm like getting my stress out that way. But I would say for me, I think my first one, when things are like super heightened, before I react, I'm like, which I've learned, and I'm still getting better. I'm trying to get better. We all are.
Oh,
but
progress,
it's like,
not perfection.
I just need to put the phone down. Nothing good is going to come out of me just reacting to this right now. So I'm going to put the phone down, step outside for 5 minutes, and guess what? When I come back, it's still going to be there. That problem's still there in 5 minutes, but I'm able to manage it a lot more.
You bring a different Haley.
I bring a different. I don't bring the emotional stress, because like I get emotional. I get
'cause you
hurt.
give a shit.
I'm very passionate. Ryan knows I really care. I get very passionate about things, and so I just got to put it down and walk away.
Well, it's like Tony Robbins talks about: change your physical state, change your mental state, change your emotional state, right? So I love what the Buddhists say. They say everything seems smaller under the sky. So you go for a walk and you're under the sky. You have views of the ocean. Allow space.
Do not have your phone. Big part.
Don't have your phone. It's really good to look at the horizon and kind of just gaze and give yourself a minute, man. Take 10 minutes and go get under the sky. Every problem will gain perspective, and you'll get leverage on it if you can go take a beat, 10 deep breaths, 10-minute walk, that type of thing. But moving my body and getting out of my head is essential. In this game, it's essential.
Well, it's crazy that was number 2 of like how you have to have a system around managing it, because if you don't, you are always like reactionary, you're emotional, you're in it, and you got to have a system of how to like minimize that kind of feeling, because when you're in a heightened state like that a lot, what does that cause? Heart problems, anxiety, that's all real shit. Like
right.
Science has said, when you have heightened cortisol, when you have heightened anxiety, emotions like that, you're going to have other problems, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all of those things. And I don't want that.
Well, it's fight or flight, right? So fight or flight, your body is literally bracing itself for a fight. The digestive process stops. There's certain processes that are non-essential in a fight that it stops doing. So if you do that too much to your body, it takes a toll, right? So meditation's great. Read a book, listen to podcasts, garbage in, garbage out, you guys. If it's all fear-based news and just scarcity mentality, it's going to manifest in how you see the world as well. So put some positivity in there and you have a chance.
So maybe like when you're stressed, don't put on Fox News or CNN. Like don't watch the news, like watch anything
Only
else.
if you want to throw gas on a fire.
Even if you have to, like put on some freaking 90s hip hop or R&B and blast that shit loud and run around the house. Dance and twerk it out. Like whatever you gotta do.
Whatever's your jam.
Like put that shit on. Like if that's what you gotta do to get your stress out. Like I know when I got my 90s R&B, or if I'm chilling to my music, like I'm usually singing, I'm hyped, I'm in it, and the stress is gone. So whatever it is for you, find your system on when you know you get heightened, how to bring it back down.
How can you bring your best version of yourself into your business? Ask yourself that. There's a whole routine, morning routine, the miracle morning. We start in the morning so that we bring the best version of ourselves. But find your jam. If it's roller skating and at Mission Beach on the boardwalk, or a nap, find your jam. It's really important. Number 3 is, do you have a system for consistent marketing and lead generation?
Ooh. Ooh, that's
we
a
have
pain
to
point.
think about
That's
this
a pain
stuff?
point. Wait, we have to have
We have
a
to stuff
system.
the pipeline?
So when you think of a system for marketing, I think of having a content calendar, right?
Okay.
Like that's something I think of what, because marketing, I mean, really, it could be all day, every day. You could have we have a marketing machine device right here at all times. We have the best cameras, you guys, on our phones
God.
at all
And
times.
a calendar on there, and a ChatGPT for ideas if I need them.
Perplexity I've been using a lot, Grok, but all of these things, they create a system with it, but having a system around like actually social media, marketing, having your email campaigns, that's something else I think about when I think of marketing, which also is lead generation. What is your marketing cadence? How often are you doing your outreach on these people through digital, through phone calls, through emails, whatever it may be, but having that on a calendar, which goes back to time blocking. You kind of have to have the calendar time blocked
And for
out.
the mindset stuff too, your workouts have to show up in your calendar. Critical. That way you can, the more you do it, the less reliant upon it, the less urgent it will be. It's like preempting.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to that, I have to schedule my workout classes, and I have to go in. If I cancel, if I'm not going, I have to go in and cancel and hit cancel class.
That hurts when you do.
And when I do that, I'm like, I'm a piece of shit. Why am I being lazy? Like, and it's, for me, I think of it as like the lazy button. I'm like, I'm going to hit my lazy button today. Like, I'm canceling this. Or
That's probably why you don't cancel very much.
No, or they
right?
charge me. They also charge me. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying you $10. I already pay you monthly. Like,
Well, and it's a really good point because systems means they happen systematically, which means consistently, right? And better without your effort, without having to think about doing it. So it's a system, right? Same with your lead gen. Does it live in your calendar? Do you, come hell or high water, make 30 minutes of outbound calls, nurture calls, door knocking, visiting divorce attorneys that can send you business, visiting brokers and agents for us, visiting mortgage companies, doing the happy hours, doing the lunch and learns? We have to have that stuff in our calendar because it's just not going to happen and just hop up into our lap and close for us. We got to make that stuff happen.
right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's huge. We have to have that in our calendar. I mean, or delegate it out, have a marketing person. If you're not a great marketer, delegate it out. Have them tell you when you're going to show up and batch videos and do content and stuff. But it's so simple. It's kind of like profound. It's crazy, but it has to live in the calendar, and you have to have a system around marketing, and you have to have it calendared out of how many posts you're going to do. How many minutes are my reels going to be? How many of them should go out?
What am I talking about?
What am I talking about?
And well, because consistent effort over time equals consistent results, right? And momentum. So it's little stuff, but done daily. And what do we see all the time? People are like, oh my gosh, my pipeline's empty, or I don't have any title orders, or some of the people we coach. And what do they want to do? They want to send out 2,000 mailers, or they want to sit down and make 200 calls. They want big sweeping actions, but that's not what it looks like. It looks like small actions over time that waterfall into massive results, right?
Yep.
In a year of 30 minutes of calls every day, you think you're not going to have tons of irons in the fire and close deals? You're more than you can handle.
I mean, we have 20 to 25. That's a minimum metric for us on calls.
Yeah.
And we try to do that every single day consistently. And I think that's a reason why we probably have the title orders and the clients and relationships we do. It's because we have it systematized. We know what we're doing. And when something happens or a meeting cancels, we fall back to our systems. We know we're getting on the phone to book more meetings, or we're trying to get to another office to go see somebody we haven't seen.
Right.
So it's a system there. Systematic approach is what we're getting at.
Right.
So next, after, do you have a system for your time? Do you have a system for your outlet of like your personal like stress? Do you have a system for your lead generation and marketing? Next would be like, I would think, what's your system to love on your top people, right?
Well, attention, right? The best ability is availability, especially when it comes to your whales, to your VIPs, you doing kind things for them. We talked to an agent the other day who really focuses and had a really good systems in place for her top referring people. And I love what Gary Vaynerchuk said the other day on his podcast. He said, over-index on the people that have come into your business and used you.
Oh, yeah. You were just talking about
Because
this.
what does over-index mean? Like, love on them, spend time with them, make sure that they have the best user experience ever. Because what we tend to do is say, oh, I got these guys. Let me go get the next one. And we focus on what we don't have instead of appreciating what we do.
We focus on the people walking past the store that aren't coming in.
If they've come in and they've used us for title, we need to be attentive and in their life and treat them as valuable as they are. And guess what? By giving them that love, the referrals spread out and it attracts more into our business. So, and you know, it's progress, not perfection, but think of who has referred me, who has utilized my services. Go back and analyze your last 10, 20 deals. Where have these come from? Those are big, glaring signs that you should be spending time with these people, talking to them, have them on a systematic approach to communicating with them, all of that.
Well, I think of Tom, he talks about one of his coaches, one of his agents they have a person on their team that only works 20 hours a week, but they're called a Care Bear. And all her job is to love on their top 20, their top 30 people that refer them. She goes on their social media. She DMs them. She goes in. She creates little gift baskets. If they posted something that they love, this candle or something, she goes out and buys the candle. So
that is awesome.
her whole job for 20 hours a week is to just focus on their top clients and love on them. And that agent, I think she did like 150 deals on her own, just her and the Care Bear, and that was it. And just because she loves and that's a system. That is a system she has created to love on her top clients.
And the more you show up in the clients in the lives of the people that have referred you, the more they're going to refer you. Right? Because you're validating them. It's like Pavlov's dog, right? It's like you ring the bell, the thing gets food, and it starts to salivate. You stop, you ring the bell, salivate, no food, right? But they're conditioned at that point. So when they do send you a referral and you reward them and value them and show them how important they are in your world, they're going to remember that and they're going to continue to refer you.
I think that's huge because we got to love on your people. And that's, like you said, like Gary Vee said, over-index on those people.
Yeah, go
What is
deeper.
your system for that? So that leads me into the last one. What is it? Our favorite one.
What's that? Oh, prospecting?
What is that? Prospecting? Yes.
Prospecting. The P word.
The big P word. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a 4-letter word. CALL.
Well, what is does it show up back to the calendar? Does it show up in your calendar? Do you have a system of planning your prospecting? Most people we talk to, most salespeople, title people, they don't want to prospect because they don't know who they're calling or what they're saying. They don't know what their message is. They don't know who they're calling. So have a system on doing a little bit of research on having your prospecting set up. Do you have open house prospecting? How are you getting people through your open house? How are you following up with those clients? Do you have prospecting for new clients? How are you circle prospecting? Things like that. For us, how are we getting more clients on more outreach? We have time set aside to make calls for prospecting. You know?
I mean, I notice Tom Ferry is very methodical, right? So he, after love on your clients, take care of your VIPs, Care Bear, attention, top of mind awareness. After that comes prospecting, right? So once we have a system in place for loving on the people that refer us and have used us and know, like, and trust us already, prospecting, what is it? I imagine a guy in the river in like 1949, and he's sifting through, and a little gold nugget showed up in his pan, and he's panning for gold. That's prospecting, literally prospecting. You have to kiss a lot of frogs to find the prince. So you have to, what does that mean? Failure is prerequisite in prospecting because 80% of the time it's not going to be a fit. They're not going to like you. They're not even in a position to use you. And all of that is okay because you're just waiting for the one that is
ready to use you. I think of the story that we actually were at the Tom Ferry Summit and he was talking about the diver who I think it was like 30 years or 20 years or something. He was diving for this treasure, a boat that had gone off. It was either off the Gulf of Mexico or it was off the Atlantic, something like that. He was diving, had multiple teams come work with him, quit, leave him, say, "You're never going to find this. This is a myth. This isn't real." He had another team. He was like on his last leg of financing, his last thing. Like this was it. And this was over like 20 years, like a long time. They're out there diving and he sees something and he starts wiping it. Then he sees it again. He starts wiping it. And they found a freaking treasure. Like they found, and I think at this time, I think Tom said it might have been in like the 80s or something. It was like over $14 million of gold and diamonds.
It was like a Spanish regatta with gold or something.
And they found it. And think about it, over 20 years of working, and he found it over $14 million. What do you think those other crews that quit on him thought?
Yeah.
Damn it. if we wouldn't have quit, if we would have just kept
resilience,
going.
tenacity. You think he had some systems on how he brushed away the sand at the bottom of the ocean to look for stuff? He had all kinds of systems. And you know what? He was so driven and so possessed by the goal that all of his systems, even on the days he didn't want to, and you have to believe, 14, 15, 20 years, there were days where he didn't believe in himself anymore.
Oh, I'm sure.
But the systems carried him through. And I think about when motivation is lacking, discipline will show up and carry you through. Systems are like discipline, right? You just do it even on the days you don't want to. Why? Because it's no longer what you do. It's who you are. Your systems get woven into the fabric of your life, and it's who you become, right? You wake up, you go to the gym, and then you have your coffee and you walk your dog. And these things are now part of just Haley's wake-up routine.
Oh, yeah. If I don't do it, I feel so off. It's like, whoa, something's happening today.
Yeah.
Something's off. Something's not right.
You're just a little tweaked for the rest of the day.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I know same for you with Peloton running, same thing.
Absolutely.
You do not want to see Ryan if he does not get his Peloton in.
I'm so angsty. It's terrible. I get barky. I mean, these guys won't even talk to me. So
we have that's part of our stress management for us. That's part of
absolutely.
Excuse me, got the hiccups. That's part of our stress management for our systems.
Yeah, so that covers a lot on this wonderful Friday. I think we're gonna tackle the next 5 next week. Keep it a series going.
Yeah, we might keep this a series. We might do some reels. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna keep it reels. Yeah.
But this was a great podcast for us. We listened to it. We got a lot out of it. So we'll have a link for it.
Yeah.
I listened to this probably at least 3 or 4 times. I shared it with some of our agents. I shared it with one of my girls who we were literally just talking yesterday. She was talking about how her life is boring and how she's been working on her systems. And I sent her this and I was like, it's supposed to be boring. Here you go. This was a sign for us. So we got a lot out of it. So we'll continue to keep riffing on this one because it was good.
And look, you don't have to have everything figured out. And here's newsflash, you're never going to have everything figured out. It's always a continual journey. You just have to start. Just start. Just look at your time management and do one thing corrective or better. Just look at how you're managing with your stress and keeping your mindset positive and step in that forward positive direction. You just have to start, right?
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you'll like the benefits you get from it. And then you're off and running and creating systems on systems on systems, okay? But if I have any advice for you, 24 years in sales, just start. Start creating systems and then you'll be off and running.
I think we might drop it on that.
All right. Okay, until next time.
I'm Haley.
I'm Ryan.
Bye.
Bye.